And that's the weirdest thing, because when you think about it, like even if the ultimate result, which in the interest of envious influences and people who on the low, went all out, to ensure that my reputation, people's um, perception of my stuff, and just slandering, defaming my contribution, my brand, assimilating it bits and pieces, just doing all this. These people that, went all out to do all this throughout the years, for which is proven. Then it's like, if in the end, anybody, regardless of what they call themselves, for them to destroy, what I'm saying, my stuff already been under attack without a cause, just because somebody wanted to try to take it or use it, or without paying me and all that. So for them to, at the end, for that result to still be accomplished, then that means the whole situation was staged. Even what's happening now, that's quote unquote unrelated. You know what I'm saying? It's not really unrelated. It's actually being did, to equal this result of, destroying my stuff wrongfully, or trying to render me, unable to embrace my God-given talent and things. It's very, very petty. That's why it's so shocking and surprising, because, it's like, who has the time, to come up with this? But it's happened. It's happened, and it's embarrassing. It should be an embarrassment, for anybody that, when you think about it, because there's so many other influences that's not subject to this. There's literally no basis for the attack that's been on my life. No foundation, no reason for it. Like, other than my talent and somebody else wanting that. Wanting that for themselves, or wanting that for their ideology, or, whatever. And so, for the same to be accomplishing in, where they store my stuff, for whatever reason, then, it's the whole situation was staged for this very reason. So then you have to question, all these, prior years. You got to question everything that's happened. You know what I'm saying? And regardless of how ridiculous it may sound or seem, you have to realize that this stuff happened. This is true. This is real life. You know what I'm saying? And it's actually sick. Like, it's very, 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 like, it's almost unbelievable. But then you see it's really happened. So then we have to, like, go down memory lane and then backtrack, you know what I'm saying? And really, to me personally, it's unnecessary, because I know everything that I've gone through. I know I'm a witness of what happened to me, and I know that I had promoted and told everybody, told the world about these things early, before they could have, fully developed. I got to jump on it before, like in advance, before the framing and stagings and slanders and defamations and all this stuff really had time to, like, just set in. I was on the scene telling the whole world everything. And then I had the same fame I had from 2 years before that, 2 or 3 years before that point. So, yeah, it was never a point in time when I was not heard, It was never a point in time when I wasn't heard. People could see the strain. They could, assess the situation, but something strange happened around, I don't know, of course, 14. 14 was very strange, to be honest, but it wasn't as violent. Now, now I'll take that back. It was some violence then, but in 15 to, 16 and 17 was some key years, though. And that's just me looking at my life and the things that I had gone through, regardless of, society, like, trying to, like, force me to recognize evil that it thinks people did, you feel me, without them recognizing it themselves. That's not something that's fishy about that, you know what I'm saying? Like, why they want me to recognize, these influences and people and stuff that, I feel like if they had something to do with it, then, and they know they had something to do with it, then that's not something I need to know. You know what I'm saying? that should automatically start, the processes of, things that's in place for that kind of thing. Not me, the victim, and, imposing their actions on me without recognizing it themselves. That's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Something not right about that. Like, I don't, that's not I'm a civilian, I'm an author, you know what I'm saying? I'm an artist, you know what I'm saying? Just like plenty of other people, varying races, race of things, so, and, ethnicity is backgrounds, people from different, you know what I'm saying? And there's people that's even renowned, you know what I'm saying? They're artists too. They're not going through this, for the past 7 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird things, and then the slander and smear campaign already been busted. So everything that consisted of, including the character assassinations and all of these things, they try to, smear my name, ruin my reputations, do all this stuff when their ulterior motive was my art and my talent. They knew my talent was greater than their gods. My talent was greater than theirs. They wanted some kind of way to have control over that illegally. And so they did all this, massive distractions and all this in order to be able to do this on the low, which was the main motive. And so upon us knowing that, you would think that there'll be something in society that will render such entities and influences off limits to a person for which is a victim of, that already suffered egregiously behind their actions, decisions, and choices throughout the last couple of years. So it's like, somehow they still allowed to be like pressed on your life. Like, I don't understand it. I showed the whole world why these things are happening. Then they eventually made their own, you know what I'm saying? Like people got it right. They connected all the pieces and then it's right. So it's like, well, at this point, it should not still be, the case. Like, like I said, I was a civilian, but I'm not stupid, I know there's something in a civil society that will render, people who, committed atrocities against a person's life from being able to have, any type of dealings with them. Like, there's something in society for that reason. But for some reason, they're not getting that, And see, that's a problem. And then when people see what I represented, then they know, even though they're informal means of order and structure, against people, places, and things that's unruly and all that, they see I totally did not fit that criteria. They see clearly, by my testimony. And so that will be a reason to, my testimony and things will be under attack to cover that fact up. It's like, why are they subjecting me to things they're not subjecting these other people to, There's people that say way more qualified, to be, I feel like, part of like, all the different branches and stuff. I feel like it's people that's according to, the things they say, the words and how they live and all that. I feel like it's people way harder than me. You feel me? It's people way tougher. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a talented author. Like, so why are they like sabotaging, harassing every part of my life, trying to like get me, to themselves in a certain position? Why they not doing that to, like other artists? White ones and black ones and like why are they still fixated on my life after I exposed them for being involved in murder, racketeering, larceny, extortion, blackmail, trafficking, kidnapping, coercion, negligence? Like, how are they still allowed to still do the same crimes that's been exposed over 3 years already? So I'm an innocent man. So I don't have to, I shouldn't be forced into exile, through negligence. Why is there nobody to check and balance that situation? So why is this still snowballing like that, Why they not allowing me, like, why they degrading the quality of my life? Like, I can have my privacy, peace, happiness, joy. Why? All the slander, smear, all that's disproven, that's dead. Even though some of the ones that started that stuff, they the ones that really should be the subject of it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm an eyewitness of some of the things they're into. So it's like on the low that people don't, that they don't want people to know. So it's like, why are they still not being, recognized for their skullduggeries, And so they're just pieces, man. There's some strange stuff going on. And it's been going on for a long time. Feel me? Well, somebody just for being talented. Nonetheless, my faith still strong, though. Still in God. But yeah, man, it's just some things I ain't got answers to. And that's weird. Hopefully you got them.